2 home games meant 2 conference wins for the UNI men's basketball team. Today, we talk with Coach Ben Jacobson about defending the Panthers' home floor. We look at the health scare that sidelined Kam Finley last season and tell you what Taylor Lujan means to UNI wrestling. And we get an update from Athletic Director David Harris.